We now have instant access to 3 billion other human beings at the tap of a glass screen. Yet we are measurably more isolated, anxious, and lonely than any generation ever recorded. For the last 15 years, we allowed some of the largest supercomputers on Earth to be pointed directly at our brainstems. Platforms optimized for one metric, keeping your fingers scrolling, successfully hijacked our human attention. Large language models and AI companions represent a calculated escalation. We have moved from losing our attention to social media to losing our deepest biological attachments to the machines themselves. By consistently trading the messy, unpredictable friction of real relationships for the smooth, optimized ease of algorithmic feeds, we have accidentally engineered our own isolation. Think about how these AI companions are marketed. They are the ultimate, frictionless emotional product. They never argue with you. They never need you to compromise. They strictly agree with your worldview, validate your every feeling, and relentlessly bolster your ego. Stanford addiction expert Dr. Anna Lemke points out that these bots function essentially as emotional masturbation machines. They give you the instant chemical rush of feeling completely understood, but they require zero real-world effort or vulnerability to acquire it. We actually have a terrifying precedent for what happens when you replace a biological bond with a synthetic substitute. In the mid-20th century, psychologists conducted a series of isolation experiments on rhesus monkeys. They placed infants in a cage with two options: a soft cloth mother surrogate that offered comfort but no food, and a cold wire mesh surrogate that dispensed milk. The monkeys naturally gravitated to the soft cloth for comfort, only using the wire mesh for basic sustenance. When infants were raised entirely by the wire mother, the results were devastating. Having their mechanical needs met without any physical or emotional comfort left them socially broken and severely traumatized. Right now, artificial intelligence is stepping into the role of our new wire mother. It feeds us a constant, predictable drip of digital validation, while completely starving us of the authentic, tactile connection our bodies actually require to survive. So why exactly does this synthetic comfort fail us? Why can't millions of lines of perfectly optimized code cure our loneliness? It comes down to a hardware limitation in your prefrontal cortex. Your brain evolved over hundreds of thousands of years to recognize another human being through complex, multisensory inputs. You can't smell an AI, you can't feel its body heat, and you can't read its microexpressions. Because those critical physical cues are missing, your brain objectively knows the interaction isn't real. It refuses to release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, or trigger the nervous system regulation required to actually feel safe and loved. True biological connection demands a specific ingredient that algorithms are designed to eliminate: friction. Friction is the willingness to risk what psychologists call social injury. It is the very real possibility of being misunderstood, the awkwardness of navigating conflict, and the absolute necessity of mutual compromise. Deep neurobiological safety cannot be generated by a chatbot. It can only be earned by stepping out of your curated echo chamber and absorbing the unpredictable reality of another person. This chart visualizes findings from the Harvard Study of Adult Development, an exhaustive research project that has tracked thousands of individuals over nearly a century to determine exactly what makes us live longer, happier lives. If you filter the data for the variables modern society tells us to prioritize, things like accumulating wealth, chasing career status, or obsessing over biohacking routines, the results are remarkably flat. They barely move the needle on your actual lifespan or subjective well-being. But when you isolate the data for the strength, frequency, and quality of face-to-face social connections, a massive outlier appears. Regular in-person interactions, even brief exchanges with a local barista, are the dominant metric for predicting a long, healthy life. Choosing the digital screen over human friction leads to significant physical decay. Our isolation is a biologically destructive habit that statistically shortens our lifespans. We are now watching this biological reality collide with the near-future economy. As artificial intelligence rapidly drives the cost of raw intellect, coding, and white-collar productivity down to absolute zero, the market is undergoing a massive inversion. Everything a machine can do effortlessly is becoming a cheap, abundant commodity. Consequently, the handful of things that an AI literally cannot do are skyrocketing in value to become the ultimate luxury. We are entering a period defined by the irreplaceably human premium. You cannot program a piece of software to put its hand on a struggling colleague's shoulder. An algorithm cannot sit across from a spouse and navigate the painful vulnerability of an argument. And no machine can ever get down on one knee and ask another person to share their life. Recommitting to physical reality is the most practical survival skill you can adopt for the 2020s. It ensures you remain grounded in the one environment that actually sustains human life. The highest leverage move you can make today is to close the laptop, step into the friction of the real world, and go be an authentic, messy human being. That is the one job the algorithm will never be able to automate.